Kwa Mungu ni sawa. Mimi niko sawa. Squad Iko Sawa.
Hey Squad, welcome to the very first episode of Squad Iko Sawa, your safe space where music, faith, and creativity collide. My name is Shani, and next to me is my incredible husband,
Muhanji with a double I.
And we're so excited to have you join us on this episode of Squad Iko Sawa. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, follow us on every social media platform. We're going to put it right here. And make sure that you do not miss any single episode.
Yep.
Squad Iko Sawa.
Squad Iko Sawa. Hebu tuambie umekuwa wapi? Where have thou been?
Nimekuwa wapi? Nimekuwa tu hii Kenya, mimi hata sina mambo. Mimi nimetulia.
How was 31st crossing over?
It was nice. I actually really enjoyed it. We were performing at Street Phrase Pop-Up.
Come on.
Light Up 25.
Come
and
on,
it was
City Light Up.
really good.
Yeah.
We were like the first performers, and I think it was such a great way to start the evening.
Yeah.
Because it also gave us a time to enjoy other artists performing as well.
True.
Which was cool. How's it for you?
Woof. I really enjoyed it. I think it's been a long time since I've been in the middle of the CBD on a 31st.
On a 31st, yeah.
So it was just like, sort of like a sweet.
I was just wondering why there were so many people in town. So many.
That's where people hang out. Like during that first, like Tao is like the most unconventional place to be because there's so much activity.
Yeah.
Because people who are going from one place to another, you have to pass through Tao. So, but it was really enjoyable. I really enjoyed your performance. Your performance was
thank you.
very lovely.
No evidence of it online, but
if you follow us on Instagram, you probably
you can
have
check
seen
it on IG for sure.
Yeah, and even follow our church page. Is that
platform?
Yeah, our church platform, City Lighters
Church.
You will get
Instagram.
to see everyone that performed. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was a really good jacking of us into.
Yeah. Imagine, I think I expected the turnout that happened, but I think seeing it in person, I was just like, wow, these are so many people. But I really hope we even because I feel like if we do 31st again, there it won't be ideal.
Yeah, I don't think.
I think we need a bigger space.
Yeah. So if you're leasing out space or giving space,
please.
City Lighters is the church to give. But it's really awesome. Why are we here? I know they're wondering. I know why we are here.
Yeah.
But I'm just asking, why are we here?
Why are we here, Muhanji? Tell us.
Because Squad Iko Sawa. The easy answer is Squad Iko Sawa.
Yeah.
But I think we are here. This has been in so many of our conversations, and I'm glad that we are actually finally doing it.
Yeah.
Because imekuwa tu kwa vision board, moving, and I was like, well, now we live in the same house. No more excuses. Yeah, and we did a thing. We actually got married, and it's really an amazing season.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that we're doing Squad Iko Sawa because the premise of Squad Iko Sawa itself is as the name suggests, Squad Iko Sawa, it's more of a community of people moving the same direction and moving as a squad. So the Squad Iko Sawa.
Yeah.
For our diaspora,
our international listeners,
Sawa means okay. The squad is okay.
The squad is all right.
Yeah. So you guys are our squad, and together we're okay. So it's just like a platform where we'll be supporting each other in ministry. We'll talk about life, faith, entertainment, music,
creative work. Yeah.
Yeah, because for those who do not know, both of us are musicians.
Yeah.
I go by Muhanji with a double I.
Oh gosh, we haven't even introduced ourselves. We've just entered the podcast right into it. My name is Shani. I am a gospel artist. I rap, I sing, I praise Jesus, and now I can also add I'm a wife.
Yes, come
which is very new, but I'm enjoying it so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's.
Do you maybe want to reframe your introduction?
Oh, my name is. My name is Muhanji with a double I. I am Christian active, creative, multidisciplinary.
Oh,
I think
big words, eh?
I do a lot in the creative scene. that goes for motion, that goes for editing, shooting. So I dabble in so many different creative practices, but generally I'm just a creative, and I love Jesus as my personal savior,
Oh,
a
you gotta say
brother,
that, yeah.
you know, a brother, an artist, a husband.
Thanks.
A
Yeah.
husband, and a friend to many, and a hater to some, but all the same. So
Jesus
love.
be praised.
Yes, wapewe sifa.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm really happy we're doing this. So Squad Iko Sawa, I don't know. I feel like people need to know our backstory
Yeah.
so that they understand why we're doing this and
Yeah.
where does even this Squad Iko Sawa come from.
Yeah. So if you're like a first time listener, you're a first time person who's watching us and seeing these faces like for the first time in the face of the earth, we're
Yeah.
both artists. We met in 2014, I wanna say.
What?
Yeah, 2014 or 15.
Hey, come on. Elephant mind.
Thereabouts. And we were, I think I was attending a gig. I was interested in like being a creative and doing music now professionally, but I didn't know how exactly to go about it. So I was like, okay, well, let me familiarize myself with like the Kenyan gospel scene. And so I started attending like these my hip hop gigs. And I think the first time I went, it was really great because there was a female rapper who was performing. Her name is Michelle, and she really, I was like so inspired by her. And then I was like, I'm definitely coming the next time.
Yeah.
So when I came the next time, somebody was performing, and and they were in a group. But he really stood out for me, obviously, because look at him, he's really handsome. And I remember just being, I was like, oh, he's a cute guy, and that was it. But I think for me, in that moment in time, I was very particular about like my relationship with God. I think I had prioritized that over everything. And for me, I had decided to not date for some time, just to get to know myself better and really to explore and figure out what my 20s are, because I think I was just entering like my 20s, and I just needed that time by myself to figure out like, okay, what does Shani like? What does she want? What appeals to her? So I saw you. I was like, he's a cool dude, and I just moved on. Yeah. So I don't know how it was for you.
Well, I think for me,
Performer.
I didn't even know that was 2014. I was
think
like,
it
you
was
were
like
somewhere
2014 or
2015.
Yeah.
She knows clearly.
It could have been 2014
Yeah,
or 15.
But I think, as you said, I think now POV from the other side.
Oh.
I think on that day, I was in a music group called T412.
Yes.
And we had just released, I think that year we had an EP. And we were doing like a lot of promotion, cross promotion, doing all these things out here. And then I remember at the time, Verse 5 were just now beginning to do now consistent shows. And I remember they reached out.
Oh yeah, it was Verse 5, yeah.
Yeah, it was Verse 5. So they reached out and they wanted us to go perform. And CCR, you know, let's go. A whole battalion of 5 guys ready to rap, you know.
Yeah.
And I think it was just also the inception. So I think at the time I was finishing uni. So I was just like, let's go, let's do this music thing. And
you were finishing uni?
Yeah.
I think I was like...
The beginning probably?
Yeah, I think I wanted to show you. Or I was like I think maybe I was in school already.
Yeah, I think you were in uni. But now I think either I was just finishing uni or I was in the last sem in uni.
I was now in the thick of it. I was in animation school.
Hey, come on, animators. Yeah, so I remember I just saw you in the crowd. And at the time, you know, you're just performing, you know. You're just performing and you're like in the zone, just rapping and everything. And, you know, you can see someone and be like, oh, that person is really cute. And don't think a lot about it. It was like, okay, cute. And then, life goes on. But I remember we had a mutual friend who we knew. And that's when now for me, I asked. I was like, by the way, you remember that chick who...
Yeah,
who
the
was
one with
her?
the pink
sweatshirt. The one with the pink sweatshirt?
Yeah.
Who was she?
Yeah.
And then I remember now that's when like she told me and I think now we started meeting later on in
Yeah,
gigs,
for
and then that's
sure.
we started interacting. And who knew? But then how long have we known each other, babe?
For like, if it's 2014, I'll say now like this is our 11th year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like when now after, for me, like after the gig and everything, I started pursuing music.
Yeah.
I had met a few other artists, and one of them like introduced me to like a producer, and that's when I started creating. So I also was in a girl group.
Come
We
on.
were a girl rap group called P31, which means Proverbs 31. It just talks about the Proverbs 31 woman. And for T412, this young man did not
First
say
Timothy 4:12.
Yes. So we were very passionate about just the music industry.
Yeah.
I think for me being in a group really, and of course we'll delve into it later in some of the other episodes, but I think for me being in a group really shielded me from like rookie mistakes that maybe I could have done earlier on. I learned so much by being in the group because I think I was the youngest one, and also I was also young in terms of like my experience in the industry. So the other ladies were helping me like figure out, okay, this is what you do when you're going for a photo shoot. This is how you prep for a show. This is how you. So I really was being guarded, and learning a lot from them. So that was really cool. And that's how now we kept meeting up, because I think for me, out of sight, out of mind. We just kept meeting up at gigs, and I remember every time we'd meet up, I'd just be like, this guy is such vibes. Like every time I'd see Muhanji, I'm like, wow, we're gonna have a great time. We're gonna dance. We're gonna laugh. We're gonna have a good time. Like I think that's like one thing that really drew me to you, not even just as like a person I could potentially date, but just as a human being. I was just like, yeah, like we just need time to just have like a good time and have vibes and all of that. So that was really cool. Yeah. So I feel like we were acquainted with each other for like a few, like quite a number of years, and then maybe we both now decided to pursue solo careers in our music.
Yeah.
And I think that's when we kind of lost touch, because I think at the time even the gospel industry was going through like a
turbulent time.
Yeah, like I wanted to say a renaissance. A turbulent, let's go with a turbulent. It was going through a turbulent time.
Yeah.
And so we kind of lost touch. We were, of course, I'd keep up with him on socials, and I would see like you working on projects and everything. And I think I even came for like a listening party you had for
yes.
like one of your projects, and it was really cool. But yeah, my thoughts always towards you were very like positive. I was always like, he's such a creative, he's a great guy. And then maybe in 2019 or 2018, I feel like we randomly met at like some corridor. And we just had the
Whoa. When you say corridor,
not at that.
It could mean a lot of things to a lot of people. I would need you to clarify. It was somewhere in Riara Road.
Yeah.
In a building for work.
Okay.
And we have
So that's we just randomly met up and connected, and we had the most amazing conversation. I remember just being like, how are we not friends? Because I think it's so beautiful seeing how you can stay out of touch with someone, and you're getting to experience them when they're older, they're wiser, like life has happened to them, but the core of who they are is still there, it's still intact. And I think for me, I was just like, wow, hi, this guy is cool, eh? Why are we not friends? And again, for me, out of sight, out of mind, that was as like we had the conversation. I was like, cool, I'll make sure to follow up with you like a bit more on social media, like we can just stay in touch. And then 2019, what happened?
2019, I mean, 2019 was a really nice, I would say a very amazing year.
Yeah.
It had its own challenges, because I think that's when like COVID like really hit us.
No, babe, that's 2020, 2019. Yeah.
So 2019,
yes,
we fully came back to now conversing
Chatting,
and now just catching up at each other on how life has been, what we have been up to.
Yeah.
And then the solo career advice from each other.
Yeah, because I think that's when I had completely like stepped away from my group and I was pursuing a solo career.
Yeah.
And oh my god, I feel like I'm yapping, but
No, you are perfectly
I
fine.
think at the time I was really confused about how to navigate it. And I also was really craving, the best way I can put it is like an everyday kind of life. So for me, it was like my thoughts, everything about my life was all consuming about music, and I kind of
Yeah.
just wanted a break from it, but not really a break because it's what I do. So I really wanted like a balance of
Yeah.
having moments when you are glitz and glam and everything is working out, and then just having like just a normal everyday thing. And I feel like meeting you in 2019 and kind of us reconnecting gave me that balance of like you can be chill, like you can just have a normal day and you can also be an artist. I think it
Yeah.
really taught me like how to balance that out, which was really cool.
Oh, nice. Muhanji. Gosh, but I think during 2019,
Yeah.
I think it was really important for us because it was the time where we like really went back to like being friends.
Yeah, for
Because the other
sure.
time we were friends, we knew each other, we could meet, we could hang out, but then we were not like really close in touch friends.
Yeah. I
And I
couldn't say
think-
what's like going on with your life.
Yeah.
I just say you are a dope creative. And that's about it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think 2019 is when we just came back, started hanging out a bit more, revisiting past conversations that we had.
Yes.
It was like, hey, what are we?
Ah,
What are we? You know?
that's not what happened.
Yeah, but it was really nice for us to have those conversations, those
For
back
sure.
and forths. Because I think now that set pace for now what would fully be us now in 2020.
I hear you.
Because literally, as COVID was giving us a handshake, is
Yeah.
when our relationship was fully starting.
Starting actually.
Yeah, so and it was really interesting because at the time I was like making a whole transition, moving from Jerry and now coming to like the sides of Karen.
Yeah.
And it was such a new and a whole different experience. And I think that season itself was it had so many turbulent moments, but I think it formed such a strong part in our lives now,
Yes.
looking back.
Yeah.
Because we had time, the hangouts, like,
Had
it's
so
COVID.
many video calls. My God.
We once had a video call almost the whole day.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, it
we-
was like
hey,
6
that
hours
was-
or something. It was crazy.
Do you really love your partner? That's the question of the day. Because I remember that day we talked.
Yeah, it was
and
like
talked.
non-stop conversation.
Yeah, it was like, I'm going to get water, come get water, get
Yeah.
food, go back.
That
We're
was
still
cool.
on video call. And I think it has, I think 2020 has like a lot of our most vulnerable moments, I would
For
say.
sure.
Because we really had a lot of conversation. And during COVID, like there was nothing else you're doing. It's
Say that
either
you're
you
forming
are,
a TikTok channel or
Yes.
you're conversing with
like looking back at it, I was like,
Yeah.
if I continued dancing, I'd probably be a TikTok star by now.
Listen.
Big shout out to all my TikTok homies.
Yeah.
I see you guys keep doing your thing. But I think like during that period, like really brought us back together. We started having the conversations.
Yeah.
We started building up the relationship and a lot of tough conversations also.
Yeah.
Because I think it was important for us to do that because it was like, now this is our foundation. Okay, what are we building?
Yeah.
And
I also really, sorry to cut you off. I also really liked how in 2019 when we were friends, we'd really converse a lot about like just our thoughts on relationship and marriage without any attachment to like this could potentially be my person. It was just an honest conversation of like, oh, what do you think about marriage? What do you think about kids? What do you think about relationship? Like if you are in one, how would you handle it? And it was really cool to see because it helped us make like an informed decision of like if we decided to date, like this is
How
what
would it look like?
how would it look like? This is what would work for us. And then when we entered in it, now there was even more to unpack. And
plot twist.
but it really I think that actually I really think 2019 was our transformative year because I feel like we really saw each other in like the full light of who we are. And it really helped us to make like uninformed. I feel like that's when our friendship really,
blossomed.
yeah, oh, blossomed, he said.
Come on, bubbles and buttercup.
Yeah, so we dated for like 4
4
years.
years.
Yeah, we dated for 4 years, and around year 3, well, to be honest, for you, around month 6.
Hey, whoa.
He was like, I'm ready to pop the question. I was like,
It's like,
whoa,
yo.
whoa.
I just arrived.
Yeah, but I think year 2 we were talking marriage.
Yeah.
But I think we were ready for it, and then
Yeah.
my dad passed away.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that really gave us
Changed the
like a
dynamics.
big blow, and it was just super difficult to navigate that, because I think it was just a rough season. So year 3, we were still thinking about it, and then year 4 is when we're like, okay. Actually, I feel like year 3 is when we made the decision, and then year 4 was mostly like wedding season.
It was a lot of planning.
That
Year
was
4 had a lot of planning.
Yeah.
But I think after, I think, it's really interesting because people usually say like, oh, why would you date someone like for that long? People, there's usually that narrative of why would you date someone longer? But I usually think the time really doesn't matter. It's what are you guys...
Well, if it's 13 years or 10 years,
hey, now,
what's like a cap for you?
I think 5. 5, if you...
fair.
5 is like...
By 5, you should be questioning yourself.
Yeah, if you're asking the right questions, if you guys are honest enough, you have already got to a place where you know certain things, and you're like, there's part of me that you don't know, but I think in marriage you will know about it.
And how do you... I feel like... or rather, I'm trying to figure out how to ask the question. Like, for men, what would you say like helps you make the decision, or how do men make the decision to? Because I feel like 5 years is a long time for a guy to be thinking about, Yeah, because I think we've had so many stories of like, maybe let's say you even date for those 5 years, and then as a chick, maybe you're tired of waiting, you break up. And then the guy gets into a relationship with someone else, and then
marries them
in 6 months or 4, or so like, what's the BTS of like decision making?
So this is the
men?
backstory of men. Follow me for more information.
Whoa, Amerix, calm down.
So now, I think for guys, how most guys view it. This is not every guy. I'm not speaking for every guy in the internet. I know there's people who don't think like this, and it's okay.
Yeah.
But I think for most
guys...
This
is my opinion.
This is my opinion, and my opinion alone.
Yeah.
And some, maybe 5,000, 8 million guys,
8 million?
Yeah. So for most guys, when they think marriage, they start planning about so many other things than the marriage. So once you...
Walk me through it, sir. Walk me through it.
So now, when the topic of marriage arises, most people would genuinely, and it's a fact, would go to the wedding. It's like, oh, what would we have there? What would we do? What would we do? For most guys, it's usually, where will we live? Will we be able to afford it? Will we be able... How am I going to transform from the life I'm living? Does my income match where I want to live? Am I able to take care of this woman when she comes to live with me? So it's usually...
So it takes you 5 years to make that decision?
No. The 5 years is the planning and the saving for that.
I see. Okay.
And that's why maybe, I don't know. I'm not a professional in other men. I'm just a professional in this man. I know about me, I don't know about other men.
I love it.
So maybe for those guys who like were dating for 5 years, and then the chick says, no, I'm done, I can't wait for this long, and months later this guy is in another relationship. Probably his savings were right and everything just made sense, and then found a lady who likes him, and then was like, why wait any longer? Boom. I do not support that.
Okay.
Because it feels like you're just stringing someone along.
For sure.
And it really isn't good. Because if it was you, you would probably go make a TikTok and cry about it. So I think...
Yeah, okay.
But let's cry also. Washing your eyes is really important.
It's important, it is.
But I think most guys, our psychology is really different, because growing up, most guys are told you are a protector, you are a provider. So even as you grow up, those are the things that are usually
Used to
a
define
standout.
you.
Yeah. So yeah, true. And for most guys, that necessarily defines them. Even for some guys still now, that's all that defines them. So long
Yeah.
as they're providing and they're protecting, there's nothing else they probably are doing. Because they're like, I'm providing, I'm protecting. I've had it all over my life. So it just remains the most regurgitating thing.
Oh, you said
Which is
regurgitating.
which is really
Yeah.
tricky, because it's
Can
not
I-
the only thing.
Can I ask you?
Yeah.
My assumption from what you've said is that then these men who are planning to get or are planning their lives, so they need the 5 years or more, judging you, to plan their lives. Are they letting in the women in this conversation?
So now,
Because I feel
that's
like
why,
getting married is, I mean, yes, the guy will initiate and everything, but I feel like it's because you guys are together, like it's a joint.
it should be a
Yeah,
conversation.
yeah.
I think now that's where I said it's an individual thing.
For sure. Okay.
Because like for us, on the second year we knew,
Yeah.
but it took us, maybe when the loss happened, plans changed,
Yeah.
but the intention remained the same.
The same, for sure.
So we were having those conversations of like, okay, if we started living together, where would we live? If
Okay.
it's a wedding,
Yeah.
what are we doing?
So
But
you're
I
saying there are
think-
people who don't have that conversation.
Yes, there are people who
Okay.
don't. They have this conversation just by the brink of them getting married. So they are asking questions of like, where will we live?
Yeah.
We have been dating for 5 years. You've never asked me that question, you know. So it's, I think the type of conversations, and I think this is where now dating matters. As you're dating, these are conversations you should have.
Yeah.
Because at the core of it, you're knowing each other. And if I hide from you for 5 years, there's 5 years of your life that we have been together that I still don't know.
Yeah.
So I think it should be a continuous conversations in couples. And I wouldn't say people to go for, well, this is a very, this is
Just say it. Just say it.
this is warning. This is what take? This is a take. Cause whatever that sound was. So, cause
What take is that, sir?
because it's a thing we have discussed. Like, should people go for premarital classes way earlier before they get to marriage? Because you see, when let's say you guys are serious and say you've done 1 year, the second year, and you guys know you want to get married, and maybe you said we want to date for another year and then get married. During that year, in my reasoning, I'm like, you should go for premarital. Just for, not even for optics, for those tough conversations, so that you can be able to table certain things that people don't know. And it's always like, I think dating is like investigation. Like you've opened an investigation file on your person and you're investigating. So what do you think about
It's
this?
important.
And then this. And
important.
your family.
Yeah.
And this. So I think having those conversations like opens up a lot.
Yeah.
And I think it needs time for you to digest. That's why also even for dating, I think it also needs time. Because as you get this information, you digest
For
it.
sure. Do you think Christians...
Whoa, what was that?
This is just my mind.
We hear, but we don't.
Do you think that Christians date too... How should I ask this question? Do you think they date too fast?
Kind of. Because
Expound.
at the core, you're always told, if you're dating, you should marry the person. So there's always there's like a suggestion of where it should end, but no one is giving you guidance along the way.
Of how
to go about it. And truly, dating is not like a straight line. It has its own complexities.
Yeah.
Marriage is different, yes, but dating is also different. Because you can't just expect someone to start dating and they know this is the person I'm going to marry. And that's it and that's it. People, even people who are dating and people who have dated before, And that's why I think like a lot of conversations need to be had, maybe older folks and younger folk, so that people can give the experience and tell people, maybe us we dated 4 years and it worked. Us we dated 2, us we dated 8. Oh, you know, so
judgment is what's happening.
you know, so that, because I don't think we are not a monolith. Human beings are, people do different things and it resonates different with different people. Our experience might not be the same as the person who's watching this, but it doesn't mean it's wrong. They have their own reality and the life that they live and a preference that they would want.
I think I want to add to just exactly what you're saying, which is, even the reason I asked that is because I've met quite a number of people who are waiting on God to tell them who their partner is.
That one.
And sometimes I feel like when you do that, you're not necessarily waiting on God. You're just trying to not make mistakes. So your assumption is that when God tells you that this is your partner, that everything will be
right.
Everything will work out. You'll never have issues. You'll never. So it's like, I think it's Pharisee mentalism in a way, like a mentality of Pharisees, where it's like, you're keeping by the law, you want everything to work out, you don't want to make a mistake. But imagine that, first of all, that's life. Second, that's the reason why even Christ came and died, because he gave us access to your grace, we can be able to make mistakes and we can be able to learn even in our dating season. And now when we do get the right person, God will help us to work out the things that are not maybe pleasing to our eye, or maybe the flaws that you encounter with this person. And I think on top of that, God also gives us like it's like, I'm trying to find an analogy, but in this very moment I can't. But essentially, it's just like, if you look at this person, you think they're cute and you find them attractive, your chemistry is great. What other sign do you need, Michael?
Lord, give me some.
Take the hint.
That's the sign.
You're probably gonna gel well with this person. So I think there just needs to be that. And of course, there are people who have been talked to by God. They've been told, this is your person. They've never met the person. They've talked to them and things have worked out, and that's great. But again, just like you said, it's not everybody's story. And just because there's this way worked out for this person doesn't mean that it's the template that you should follow. So I just think that I think factors.
Maybe I think I would like to ask is, for women, how does that look like for women?
What?
Because I hear ladies say that thing of, this man told me like he had a dream about me, and he told me like this is the man I will marry. Well. And then on the flip side of it, there would be now, because guys don't say this, but in guys' spaces you would hear it.
Tell us what the guys say.
Someone says,
ladies, listen closely.
Ladies, kujeni. Like you'd hear guys say, like a lady would come and tell him that, I've even put money aside. God told me you're supposed to be my husband. See, for a household. And God has told me you're my husband.
What are you guys doing out here?
Just like, okay. And for guys, it's really hard to even continue with that conversation, because it's like, maybe. And I would like to hear now how that looks like on the girl side, because it's like, and even when it comes to marriage, like, how does that dynamic of the waiting for, maybe we are together for these 5 years? Mbona niulize hii swali?
I think just like you said a few minutes ago, it's individualism. Like it just depends on the individual person, because I know that there are women who want that. They want to hear that, God spoke to me in a dream and told me about you and Nini. And maybe even for them, God will confirm it in a dream. And that's, again, it's just your story. Yeah, it's your story. And I mean, great. That's awesome. The other women who are repelled by it, they're just like, you weirdo, get away from me.
You don't have game.
Yeah, and I usually know, like, especially maybe the ones who are a bit naive, and maybe that's why some women are a bit apprehensive, is like the man who comes to tell you that God has told him that he's your husband. That like, okay, for my international listeners, he doesn't appeal to your eye. Like
Yeah.
he just looks the way
Not
he
even
wants
my
to look.
type.
Yeah, he's not your type. You know, but now because God has said, you know, there's that battle of
Did he really?
not even did he really. It's like, but God said, so I just have to be obedient to God. You get right?
No. Mkatie watu nyinyi, acheni mchezo bana. You know?
So yeah, I think it just depends on the individual for sure.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, there are people who want it and there are people who are repelled by it.
I think for people, the Christian environment is interesting.
Yeah.
Yes, there's the supernatural, I would say, or the spiritual way of things. However much everything is spiritual, there's some things that are physical. There are things you don't need prayer to fix. It's just like even drinking water. You don't need to pray to God, can I drink water? No, your body is
God, I'm
asking
thirsty.
for water.
Help,
Go and drink
make
water.
a way for me, Lord.
Hey, oh God, should I turn off the lights before I sleep? Turn off the lights because your bill will be high.
Talk to them, don't tell me.
Turn off the
Yeah.
lights because your bill will be high.
Yeah.
But I think there needs to be a concerted effort between two Christians to know that this thing is not just physical, this thing is not just spiritual. It's also social. Like there are things you need to have understanding about. There's ways you need to know how to move about.
Yeah.
Even if it's business, you need to have strategy. How am I doing my business? There are things that you can pray and supernaturally God answers your prayer.
Yeah.
And I think that's where now preparedness meets opportunity. And that's how things work. And in this world that we live, there are people who are successful. It's not that they are Christians, but they have systems that work.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
all these systems are honored by God because there's structure.
Yeah.
And I think Christians need to learn more on following structures and having ways of doing things, systematic ways of doing things. They work. They are working for people. And if you have that and add God into it,
Yeah.
it's even better for you,
Yeah.
you know.
Okay, so in 2024.
We took a whole tangent.
Yeah, but in 2024 is the year we decided to get married.
Ooh,
And kind of like do the whole thing.
yeah.
There's so much. Of course, we can share about that. I just think that you just have, I think for me, the biggest lesson, and maybe you can share yours as well.
Yeah.
But for me, like the biggest lesson I've learned is like, you just need to have that resolve within you to get married. Because the
Yeah.
challenges that come with wedding season and wedding planning,
There are a lot.
for sure will come. So you just have to decide, like, no matter what,
Yeah,
we're going to get married and it's going to happen on this time and within this time frame.
yeah.
How's the wedding season for you?
The wedding season was quite a lot. I thank God. You know, sometimes people say like you will slim and you'll become tiny because of stress.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
of what? At some moments, I think I was even stress eating, which is very weird
The
for
opposite
me,
of,
you know.
yeah.
And I think even during that time, I would meet people who tell me that, oh, you know, it's a very tough season. You know, it will really show you that you're a man. You know what?
Oh.
Yeah, because you know this is the period where I think also like I don't know, maybe culturally, like all those processes of marriage is usually like testing you to see how far you can go and if you're serious about it.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm
So
grateful.
maybe for context, we did everything in a
In a
year.
year.
So we did the engagement happened
Yeah.
like
I would say
a month, and then we started planning for
Yeah.
So we got engaged, and then we had like 2 events, and then the white wedding. So in African culture, you usually have a traditional wedding, and then you have like a white wedding.
Yeah.
And then dependent on whatever Kenyan culture you come from, every tribe or
different.
every culture has its own way of doing it. There are guys who have like 5 events before the white wedding. For us, we have like maybe 3 or 4.
Yeah.
But we just decided to do 2.
Yeah.
So we did like our introduction, and then we
Yeah.
did our rorashio stroke engabuti, which is
Introduction for both sides.
yes. Oh, so technically 3 events.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we did introduction on both sides,
Yeah.
and then we did our rorashio stroke engabuti because I'm Kikuyu Maasai.
Yeah.
And then we did our white wedding. So we did all that in 1 year.
Yeah.
So
Good God Almighty.
One of the things that really suffered was our music, and it didn't suffer. I'd just say it.
Yeah.
It took
It
a
took a
back
back
seat.
seat, yeah.
Yeah, it took a back seat because financially, it was really, we were really stretched,
Yeah,
and we
very,
just
very
couldn't
stretched.
give.
Balance that out.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think even for us, we had that conversation earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So we knew when we are getting married, like there won't be a lot of musical
yeah,
releases. And that still goes back to what we were saying. Like you
Yeah.
need to have these
the conversation.
as things are happening.
I remember one of the conversations we had was we chose, and I think it's something also our wedding planner really insisted we have. Like,
Yeah.
first we decided like the 3 things that matter the most to us.
Yeah.
So during the wedding or during the whole thing. So for me, during the whole process, I was really insistent on production. Like, I really wanted the memories to be captured so that we can
Yeah.
look back and just be happy, because in that moment, more often than not, you're stressed. So it's almost like you're planning an event.
Yeah.
It's actually that. And
You are.
I really, sometimes I think when we were in it, I was just like, if I'm feeling this way and I do events because
Yeah.
of music and everything, and we're kind of on the back end, so you kind
Understand
of know
the-
how to navigate and then also how to show up
Yeah.
when it's your time to entertain the people. I was just like, man, I don't know how, like, people who don't do events or entertainment, like
feel
how they
like-
handle it, because it can
Yeah.
be super stressful. So for us, we did we decided on 3 things. So for me, it was like production was super important,
Yeah.
and our fits.
Yeah.
Actually, I just had to. Did I have, what was the other one?
Production, feats, and there was something else. I think deco.
Not really.
Wasn't deco? Ah,
Because even
But
with
I
Deco, I was
can't
like
remember.
super specific on
just small
like
things.
small things, nothing too crazy. But I think maybe it was photo video, so it became
photo,
photo
video.
video. So production and and our fits and
Yeah.
like how we look, and then for you it was
Hey, for me, it was food.
yeah.
Remember, it was food.
Man,
Yeah, you
yeah,
gotta know. West Side!
Yeah.
I think for me, it was food. It was just the comfortability of people.
Yeah.
I think the
Actually, for you it was food and just like we wouldn't spend much. Like financially, we'd make
and
Yeah.
not get to debt. I remember
Yeah.
that was a convo we had and
yeah
not get
a
to
very
debt.
big thing. Actually, a very big thing for us was
Yeah,
that
not
we
to get
really
to
didn't
debt.
want to get into debt, and we also didn't want to feel like we had to take a loan for anything.
Yeah.
So that also really determined even the number of events we would have.
Yes.
So that's why we even did the 3 events, because we were like, if we do any more, you're killing us. We are we are done, because we really wanted to honor family, but also honor God. So just having that delicate balance.
Yeah. And really God was really faithful. I could say there are things that happen in that season that I'm just like, I don't know how that happened. But I think it's sort of like, I remember our best man was telling us, like, this is God's project.
Yeah.
Like, they, in no way would he just let all this fall apart. So it was like, things were just happening, sort of like a ripple effect. One thing happens, and then the next thing, and then the next thing, and then the next thing. Just like, what? We managed to do that.
Yeah.
I remember when we were coming off the grounds, going home.
When, like the wedding?
After the wedding.
Okay.
Yeah. And then our best man asked, who haven't we paid?
Yeah, like vendors.
Which of our vendors haven't we paid? And it was like, no, we have paid everyone. And it was such a fulfilling thing. Like, it was just like,
we're done. Like, it's over. We finished. No one is gonna call us.
Like it's such
that
a
was really
nice
cool.
feeling, and I really thank God that we were able to do that, such that even after, maybe, I don't know, what would you want to say about our after the wedding?
Well, even before we get to the after, I really wanted to talk about, like, maybe my question to you would be, what, out of the 3 events, which one did you like the most? So
Out of the
introduction,
3,
Rorasho, and wedding.
Introduction, Rorasho, wedding. I think there are bits of each that I really
That you
enjoyed.
liked. Okay. Yeah, it's unfair to tell you to choose.
Yeah, because I'm like,
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like our introduction.
What did you like in each then? Because I feel like that can
Our
help.
introduction was so it was so intimate. Like
for sure.
it really felt like family.
Actually, I think our whole like wedding season was super intimate. Yeah.
It really felt like home. Like
Yeah.
it didn't feel like, "Guy, I'm going to meet my in-laws."
Okay.
You know, it didn't feel like that.
That's nice.
Yeah. So it was very calming. So I could wanna like scares or things like that, which I really loved. I think for the Rorashio, I really
Rorashio
enjoyed
stroke what?
Engabute.
There we go.
Yeah. It was really nice because now I think I hadn't experienced the Kikuyu and Maasai culture
okay.
together. So for me, it was also a new thing. And I was like, oh, so this is how you guys do things.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it was
new for me too.
Yeah, it was such a good balance
Yeah.
to see both cultures. And then for us, Luya, it was very nice to also see like that culture because I don't think in our Nini, we have a Maasai per
Oh,
se.
like your side of the family.
Yeah, in our side of family, I don't think we have Maasai. So it was really nice to see it.
And we're not being tribalistic. It's just
it's just
part
our
of the
experience.
culture. Yeah, it's just the culture.
And I think it was really nice to see it all. I think I enjoyed the colorful like outfits of the Maasai ladies, and now our uncles from that side. Like, I think Maasais are so decorated.
Check out the pictures on Instagram.
You know, like so decorated. It looked so nice. The event was really dope.
Yeah.
How we were received.
So many people.
Yeah, it was so many people.
There were so many people.
How we were received was really nice. I remember the negotiations in the morning. I was so tense.
I remember nothing. I was in my room.
Just
looking
being
pretty.
the bride. I am not the bride. She was the bride for the day. So, like, it was so nice. Like, I think the happenings of the day, I think my joy was increasing by the day. So I think for the Rorashio, it was like an increase. Okay. A slow burn. For the wedding, I think I was just so ecstatic that day. What? Yeah. Like, I think in the morning was just this realization of like, this day is here.
It's happening.
Like, it's happening. It's today. And I remember I just put on my feet and I was with one of my homies and he was like, Manzeni Leo. Like, after this, you are a husband. You know.
Pressure.
You know, and I think it was just a warm feeling of like, this is what I want. This is what I've decided. And I mean, let's go with it. And I would say like that day, I think later on is when you realize like all this planning was just all those other events just to get to this.
To this one,
You know, and that day I think just goes on so fast that by the time it's evening, it's like, what? Imeisha.
But I feel like we enjoyed like we
so
didn't
much.
feel the rush. Like we were very present. So it helped us. Even though the day was short, we really enjoyed just the day in its fullness.
I really enjoyed it.
Can
Wait, what was yours?
Okay. So for introduction, I really loved that both sides of the family were super welcoming to both of us.
Yeah.
So like for your side, it was super intimate. It was just family and us, and then on you guys now came home, and it was really nice. It was very welcoming. And then
ati umeona maua kwetu.
Oh yeah.
You
so
know?
It's like for international listeners, it's
Have
like,
you seen a flower?
Yeah, you've seen. I've heard that you've seen a flower in this household. So the flower is the bride. So it's the lingo was very cool to witness. And then the Rorashio Engaputi was really nice. I liked the decor.
Yeah.
Like our decor guy and shout out to like everybody that we worked with because we worked with the same people for the whole process.
Through.
On top of that, we worked with like people who, and again, this is our experience just because we've been in the entertainment stroke event space stroke musician space. Like maybe we know photographers and videographers, so it was like we were just with our homies.
Yeah.
So they get to experience the beauty that is our relationship that's thriving, and then they also get to document it, which was really lovely.
Amazing.
So we worked with the same people, which I think financially is also a really good hack because we were able to negotiate like a good price with them, just because they were covering multiple events. And then, so for our Rorashio, I really like the decor. I really loved the outfits.
Yeah.
I really loved like even the way like my aunties and everybody came dressed up. It was like it was really giving Maasai, like it was nice. And then I really loved that you guys came with your
Sukoti guys.
yes, it was lovely. So everybody, I feel like everybody who came got to experience the three cultures.
Yeah.
Yeah, so guys who had never seen Luya's like dance and nini, they got to see, and guys who had never seen the Maasai culture.
And
So
the
now I
Kikuyu
actually
culture.
feel like I don't know if they go to another Maasai event, they'll be disappointed because I don't know if other Maasais do it that
that way.
extravagant. And then for our wedding,
Yeah.
I really loved our morning session, which is kind of what I also want to get into. Which is we decided to do like a church office wedding. So essentially we wanted, because of just where we were financially and the things that we had decided to do, were like, we're not taking a loan and we're not getting into debt. We're like, okay, financially, this is the most sound decision to make. So initially we wanted to do a garden wedding, but our finances weren't working out in our favor. So we decided to do a church office wedding, which essentially is like, I really don't want to say it's like AG because it's really not.
It's not really.
It was the church service, but
without everyone else. Just our parents.
Just our parents and the pastor couple. And the best couple. And our production team, which was really nice because they were our friends, they were also witnesses to the day, which was so lovely. I actually think that was my favorite part because even for me in the morning, it was super chill because we had our bridal party for the Aurora show, but we didn't have them for the wedding. Yeah,
because they were now doing the running around.
Yeah, so now they were helping us just run the day. In the morning it was super chill for me. Yeah. Like I've had horror stories of bridal mornings and everyone was super chill. My makeup artist came on time. She came with a word for me, like just like a word from Joshua, just do not be afraid, like things are gonna go well. She was super encouraging, so it was chill. We listened to worship. We got the best couple came, picked me up. They were super chill about it. We prayed, went to church.
I remember. Sorry to cut you.
It's okay.
That morning, I think our morning was riddled with so much prayer.
Yeah, which was great.
Which was really, really
it was
dope.
Lovely, yeah.
To the point where we were almost worried that we would get late. But it was like, well, okay, guys, this is turning into a service.
It was nice. And I remember, like, even our pastor had told us, like, because even for him, it was his first time doing a church office wedding. So he was like, so we were all kind of planning the event together, all of us. So I remember he was like, it'll just take like 10, 15 minutes. Rush, nothing. Yeah. It took us like an hour.
Pentecostals.
He decided to do the whole service. It was great. We had so many prayers, which was really lovely. And then we had our reception after. Yeah. So we found like our people waiting for us. And of course, even like with the reception, we were very limited in terms of like the people we could invite, just again because of finances. Yeah. So yeah, it was pretty chill, very intimate. Yeah. Everybody had a good time. Yeah. And then in the evening we came home. Yeah. We came home. We were super tired.
Very tired.
It was a great day, but we were tired more than we would have cared to admit.
We were. I think the happenings of the day made us so drained in a good way. Yeah. Because now when we were done with everything, we were just like, we'll come back home. We had a honeymoon planned. Yeah. So we were like, we'd come home and stay for the weekend.
Maybe like because we did our wedding on a weekday. Yeah.
Yeah, on a Thursday. I think on a Thursday. So we're like, we just come, rest, stay for the weekend, then go for the honeymoon.
Now travel and not spend the first 2 days of honeymoon where you've paid money,
sleeping and resting.
Yeah, we wanted to rest home and then, in fact,
and counting envelopes.
In fact, even in my perfect world, like I wanted to like not even go on honeymoon the following week. I wanted us to go like a month or two later, just to fully enjoy like just the holiday. Yeah, because I feel like marriage, like that's his so like there's so much happening that I think the honeymoon can kind of pass you by because you're not fully present because you're so tired. You're trying to, it's a lot.
True. And I think what many people are not told is like, even for us during that period, even as we were planning, even for the honeymoon,
Yeah.
we were putting everything together in
What
a
you
sense that if we are doing the honeymoon, like we would come, rest up, and then now go for the honeymoon. Most people don't do that. It's just like, no, don't sleep in your home the first night. It's like, it's our home. We will come back here,
Yeah.
you know.
But I think it's just like what we've been saying. It's just based
It's
on
everyone
Yeah, it's
experience.
based on your own preference.
It's what you
Yeah.
want anyway. So I think even for the honeymoon, now what we didn't tell you is that we didn't go for honeymoon.
Yeah, we've not had a honeymoon.
Yeah, we
Yet.
have not had a honeymoon yet.
Yeah.
Because the place we wanted to go, it was a festive season. Let's just start by that.
Yeah.
It was a
And
festive
it's not that we
season.
hadn't booked.
Yeah. Makosa ni yangu. Big shout out to Phil TV.
Yeah.
But I think now when that happened, we were like, well, we could just stay in.
Yeah,
We
for
could
sure.
just now,
Yeah.
the money that we had said we would do for the honeymoon, we did a couple of things that were really nice that we are not going to say on cam.
Okay.
We did some really good things
Yeah.
with that. And I think it still goes to the place we wanted to go, the original place we wanted to go. We couldn't afford it at the time. So we were like, we'll just take our honeymoon later on.
Yeah. When
But
we're able to.
yeah, but
But
I think
for anyone who is trying to get their monies together and things are not working, like
Yeah.
don't be discouraged, because I think one of the things that our pastor really told us was like, first of all, without the both of you present, none of these things can happen.
None.
No deco person will be paid. No one will come from other sides of the family to
Yeah.
celebrate. So you two joining together is the most important thing.
True.
And then now on top of that, like, because you two are the most important thing, there's certain things that are, especially in the wedding industry, and I
Yeah.
think it's just a way that, and I have nothing against people in wedding planning, but like I think it's just a way of them to just get as much money from you as possible, telling you it's the most important day of your life. You only do this once. If you don't do it now, does this mean you believe that you're going to get divorced? You know, it can be quite a lot of pressure, but just take it as you can. If you're able to do a church wedding, do a church wedding. If you're able to do a garden wedding, do a garden wedding. If you're able to do a G, do a G. If you're able to do the most extravagant wedding Nairobi and Kenya has ever seen, do it. You know, it's based on your own individual preference.
Yeah.
But the most important thing is that the both of you
Yeah.
are the most important thing on that day.
Yeah.
The both of you getting joined together, that's the most important thing.
Be on the same page.
So yeah, you need to be on the same page. And yeah, so even for anybody who maybe is like us and hasn't gone on a honeymoon,
Yeah.
it's still okay. It'll happen. Yeah, I don't know.
I think that do I have any
Have we covered like on the music side?
on the music side? I think on the music we'll just tell them as we keep going.
Yeah.
Because I think
We
in the
can
music
delve a
that's
bit
like
deeper in that.
that's like a whole thing, and I think it's a continual journey.
Yeah.
So musically, but I think musically we have really made so much strides even in our career, being that we were both from groups
For sure.
to now being solo acts by ourselves. And I think sometimes people like to clothe the two of us as one person. Yes, two became one. We understand that. But she's an artist in her own right, and I'm an artist
There we go.
in my own right.
Yeah.
So I think it's a really amazing journey. And even right now, even as we are married, I think I'm
You're really giving my wife.
Yeah, of course. My wife, she's just next to me. I'll consult my wife about that.
Whoa.
But I think I really want to see now where it goes.
Yeah.
Because now I think it's easier to create, it's easier to do certain projects. And I think I can't wait. Maybe something they don't know. This is a Netflix verified artist. I just wanted to say that because maybe she's being humble, but I will not be humble for her. Because this year, I think one of the monumental things I saw this year musically was that your song being picked for More Fire.
Last year, babe.
Oh, last year. Oh my God.
We're shooting this in 2025.
Yeah, this is in 2025. Yeah.
I don't even know what to say.
It was so amazing. Like, I
Yeah.
think one of the monumental things for me to see, like last year, was your song, 3 of your songs being featured on More Fire. on Netflix.
Yeah.
Number 1 in Kenya. It has been for a period of time,
Yeah.
you know, and
That's really
that's
cool.
such a huge marker. And because it's not so many people are getting sync deals in Kenya, and
true.
having that used in a series it's really amazing, you know.
Yeah.
And I was just there, a proud husband, just like, yeah, we are watching more Fire tonight, so that you may
Wow.
listen and get to, you know,
Yeah.
just to do all that whole thing. And I think that's like, it's a notable thing, getting to see you release your EP, getting to see you do a whole show, a whole gig, guys. It's on her YouTube channel, Shani. Go watch it. Go watch it. If you don't believe me, go ask Stormers. If you
They don't?
believe me,
Oh, okay.
I have a number of people. But I think it was such a nice thing to experience. And even with the starting of the year now in 2025, I can't wait to see what goes. You know, you have the mantle.
I feel
We are waiting for a word. Woman of God, we are waiting for a word.
I feel pressure to say something about your music as well.
No, by the way, don't feel pressured. I've been out of the game for a period of for a while.
He was planning his life. He was planning for this season of marriage.
You know,
Yeah.
But I think even for myself, I think there's so much I have done musically, but have been out of the game for quite some time.
Yeah.
So I think I'm just excited to now
See
create and see what I can do with what I
be
have
great.
this season, you know.
Yeah, I've listened to some of the music that he's already worked on, and it's really great. Yeah, you're so
Gonna be good.
creative.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, so this essentially was just an episode where you get to know a bit more about us.
Yeah.
For those who maybe know us from our music and do not know us personally, we hope you enjoyed the episode. For the people who are seeing us for the very first time, welcome to the Squad. And yeah, it's gonna be a great podcast. We're so excited to start this together. We've wanted to do a podcast for quite some time.
A long time.
Individually, not even just together. So we just thought this would be a great way to kind of start the year.
Yeah.
We're going to be having so many great conversations about music,
Yeah.
about faith, about just real life and navigating this world as a young Christian who loves God and is just trying to do right.
While we were doing the intro about Squad Iko Sawa, I think Squad Iko Sawa is us welcoming you to our space, and you are welcoming us to your space through the interwebs.
Yeah.
So that we can have this conversation. And I think a good verse for us to give the guys, I think, is Matthew 18:20, where 2 or 3 are gathered, my presence is there with them. And
God's presence, not ours.
The presence of the Lord is there with them. And I think it's important for us to do that, because all these conversations we have, it's nice that God is so divine in that this conversation, you could listen to it years later and still have the savor of it. The sweetness still remains. And that's why we are doing these conversations, you know, so that years on you could carry this conversation and it could be, you could use it for something you're doing.
Yeah.
It could be an encouragement for a season you're in. It could be something that carries you through a season, or you know someone who's going through a season, and this video would speak to that. So Squad Iko Sawa, and always know that you're not alone. You have a community with you in us.
I hope you're going to stick along for the ride.
Yeah.
We're going to have a great time. But until then, stay blessed, stay creative, and remember,
Squad Iko Sawa!
Miniko Sawa, Squad Iko Sawa.